Hello, my loves. Wow, we are bright.
A few moments later.
Okay, I'm gonna have to fix this exposure in post. That's fine. So if you've been on my channel for a while, you will know that I used to do hair brush out videos, hair rolling videos all the time, and I feel like I haven't done a good old-fashioned hair roller video in far too long. So today is the day. My nose itches. So for anyone who's been here for a while, let's start off by saying how insanely long is my hair? Look at this. Look at that.
Wow.
Look at that. That's mad. Some people will be like, that's my short hair. For me, this is insanely long. So I get a lot of people that ask how I do my hair, how I use rollers, all of that sort of thing. So I thought I would do a nice, comprehensive roller setting video, answer your questions along the way. You will need foam rollers. Yes, this has hair on it. All of them have hair on them. That's what happens when you use them. So these you can get anywhere. You can get them for packs of I think 6 for like £2 in Boots. You can get them online, you can get them in Superdrug, you can get them in most places, and this is the secret to my hair rolling success. I have been using these since I think 2018, I want to say, and they have served me well. They've served me well for this time. We'll obviously need a brush, a comb. More ideal is if your comb has this nice pointy end. You will see why. Some separating clips, a setting lotion. So this is point number 1 of the secrets to hair setting success. You want to use a setting lotion. This is not Lee Stafford Coco Loco Coconut Moisture Mist. This is just what I put my setting solution in. There is still a tiny bit of the Coco Loco mist in the bottom to help hydrate my hair while I set it. But this is Lotta Body setting lotion diluted with water. Diluted is very important. Please don't use it straight. Oh my god. Lotta Body is just the best one that I've used. I have tried out Suavecita before. There's an old video about that. I tried the Superdrug setting lotion I think once. That was horrendous. Never using it again. But Lotta Body, tried, true, works like a charm. What more could I want? There are 1,000,005 setting patterns online, but I'm just going to do the one that I have been doing the most often. For that, I am just taking the hair from just about my ears forward and pinning that up. What do we think about the yellow? Isn't it pretty? She's super fresh. I only had it touched up last week, so really nice and fresh. Starting with a small amount of hair, like so. Comb through. No tangles. Shake up your setting lotion. Just do a few sprays and run that through. Take your roller. I'm going to try and show you. So wrap the ends around. You can see that's where the end are, and then I'm using my thumb to tuck the ends under. And if I'm worried that the ends might have a bit of a kink to them, what I can do is take, can you see that silver end? Take it and just scoop around like that. Roll it. Now, important note, I sleep in these. This, you can see there's still a little bit of give here. It is not clamped super tight against my head where it's pulling. If it's pulling now, when I'm just sat talking to you guys, it is going to be unbearably uncomfortable as soon as I lie down on it. So that is very important. You can also develop traction alopecia, which, as someone who had spots of stress-induced alopecia for a while, do not recommend. Not a super fun time. So then, I just repeat that process. There is a lot that you can do with directions for setting. You can roll from like up high, you can roll from straight out. For day to day, I tend to do it like this. I've seen a few people say that I don't understand why people do roller sets like this when you can just use a heated curling iron and that is exactly the same and you get the same look. Respectfully. My hair does not hold when set with a curling iron. Yes, even when it's prepped and held up and set to cool, I just find that it does not hold at all well. One of the most important aspects of a set is having those ends really well curled. And I find that with curling wands, with curling irons, with straightening irons, it's just more difficult to get that perfect curl at the end. Whereas these, before they're brushed out, will literally be like Shirley Temple ringlets. Just got my nails done, by the way. How pretty. We went with a chrome colour. This is unlike, I think, any colour I've ever had. My inspiration was, I wanted it to be like a beetle. Because it's Halloween. Well, it's not, but it's the end of September, so spooky season has begun. A lot of people ask if my hair takes a long time, and I always find it's kind of a hard question to answer, because depending on the set, like a really basic set for every day I can do in, I'd say, like 15 to 20 minutes. If it's a really important set for like a big event, I'll take a bit longer on it. I also just don't like to rush myself. I like to take my time. I'll listen to videos by creators I like. At the moment I am really enjoying Be Kind Rewind. She does really amazing old Hollywood like breakdowns, best actress Oscars, making of like different old Hollywood films and all stuff like that. I really love Amanda the Jedi. She does film reviews and I just really enjoy her commentary and her personality. I like Kenny JD for the same thing. If there's some kind of hideous, messy TikTok drama, like the whole Kendra psychiatrist thing, I know that Kenny's probably done a fun video on it, and I would much rather listen to someone funny tell me about a bit of drama than to actually go and research the drama myself. I also just really enjoy taking the time for myself to give myself pretty hair. I will say the longer and particularly the thicker my hair is getting, it can sometimes make it slightly more difficult to hold a curl. Easiest things for that is to make sure that your set is really saturated, that you don't take sections that are too big. And also I find if you do a tighter set, like a tighter brush out on the first day, that gives it somewhere to go in the following days. I do not at all mind resetting my hair overnight. I find that when I'm resetting it, you often don't need to do a full set in the same way that I'm doing here. You can do sort of much bigger sections and sometimes not even use a setting lotion, just kind of dry roll it to get that bounce back. Because I only wash my hair generally every sort of 4 to 6 days. I find that works for my schedule, works for my hair. I've also got brightly coloured hair, obviously, so the less I can wash it, the better. Something you might notice with my set is that on this side the clips go forward this way, and on this side all the clips go back. So this is the right side of my body, this is the left side of my body. There is no particular stylistic reason for that, it's just the way that I find the most physically comfortable to roll. You will tend to find, the more you do this and the more you practice, that there will just be a direction that feels the most intuitive. For me, it feels better to hold the roller with my left hand and to roll around with my right hand on this side. I am right hand dominant, so that might have something to do with things. When it comes to doing the back of your head, it is all about pulling it out to the side. I will only set my hair in front of a mirror so I can see everything that's going on. start at the bottom and work their way up. Sometimes I also section my hair like that. You go through different phases with setting my hair. Sometimes I'll favour certain setting patterns for like a couple of months and then I'll switch. I think it's fun to test out different setting patterns. Okay. We are nearly there. I like to do this back section, as in like the whole back of my head first, because just gets it out of the way. Okay. Let's go. Now, if you haven't chosen a part, this is your time to do so. I already have a little side part going on here, and you may have noticed I have this little pin curl in. I am slightly growing out my fringe at the moment, but I'm really enjoying having this little part of my fringe as like this really cute little sort of kiss curl. It makes me very happy. So I'm just keeping that secured with a clip. And now for these front bits of hair, I try and make sure these are set particularly nicely. Another thing I will say for the Wetset is that it genuinely does just last so much longer. So much longer than a curling iron set. Because you are forming the hair into a style while it's damp, it just really does last so much longer. You'll notice that I am using slightly smaller rollers for this. Just to make sure they're nice and curled. Something definitely just got like fish hooked there. Oh no! The reason that I don't want those ends to go funny is because then you end up with this really nice, perfect vintage ringlet with this awful fish hooked end that you will really struggle to camouflage. Oh no, my battery's dying. Okay. Something I will also note, I've completely forgotten what I was talking about. Something I will also note is if you have bits of hair that are more fragile, like this yellow bit at the front, she's a bit delicate. She's a bit delicate, this bit especially, so I'm just making sure that she is handled with care, and that section in particular is not pulled really taut. You don't want to create unnecessary tension. Pin curl this. Okay. In terms interactions that I have with people that make me feel the most sad are the ones where people are like, oh, I'd love to do that, but I could never. People saying, oh, I could never pull it off, or I wouldn't look good, or I don't have the right body for it, or it always makes me feel very sad. I very strongly believe there is a vintage style out there for everyone. I also think a lot of the challenge is that mental aspect of trusting yourself and of learning to feel comfortable in a new style, and also comfortable with the attention. I forget that I'm quite distinctive looking most of the time until someone's like, I love your eyebrows, and I'm like, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Bright pink eyebrows and bright pink and yellow hair, and I'm dressed like your grandmother. Oh yeah. We're down to the last roll. There we go. Completely set. So this is what it looks like. What I then do is give an extra spritz over all the rollers on top. And then, ooh, radiator's on. And then, depending on what I'm doing, if I have to leave the house, I will put a turban or a silk hair scarf over the top of these to completely hide them. If I'm just going to sleep, I use this triangular net scarf. Ta-da! So this is my complete vintage hair set. I will say that setting is like any other practical endeavour. The more you do it, the easier and the more intuitive it will get, and the more you will learn how you like to do things, how your hair responds to things. It will also respond differently in different humidity, different heat, different cleanliness of your hair. My hair sets very differently on like day 1 than it does on like day 5. So yeah, you will just learn all of these things gradually. I hope that this has been helpful and that you have enjoyed my yapping, because I love a good yap. And I will see you all again very, very, very soon. Please remember to have a lucky life, most glamorously lived. And I'll see you in my next video. Mwah! That is the dress that I am taking with me to Leeds, because I'm going to Leeds tomorrow. Ah! Also, this top is incredible. It's by Violets in May. I got it on Vinted because I get everything on Vinted, and it's beautiful. Oh, oh, so pretty, so pretty.